Become. Become. That word is probably the most important word out of everything I could tell you. Okay? Can everybody hear me? Oh, no? Yes. Okay. Become. Become. When someone asks you, what does it mean to be a disciple? You say, we are becoming like Christ. Okay? We are becoming like Christ. That's what it means. Well, become is, let me use this word. That's better. All right? Becoming. All right? Everything that I say to you tonight, for the rest of your life, the most important word that you'll ever hear for Christianity is that. You'll never hear, I know you look at that word and you be like, oh, becoming? No. No. That is the most important word in your life. Brothers and sisters, it may not appear what we shall be, but we know that when he appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Does not yet appear, but I'm becoming like him. Why is this becoming important? Let's flip it out to you. Let's throw it out to you. What does becoming say to you? What does becoming say? Okay, look. Okay. Act. Look, act. Demonstration. Working towards. Y'all gotta, come on. Working towards. Look, act, working towards. What else?
Information you learn up to become the information you live.
Yeah, the information. Yeah, there you go. There go some notes right there. I hear it. The information that you learn is the information that you become. This is about transformation. This is about progression or progression. This is about step. This is about daily walk. This is about intentional efforts every single day. Every single day that you wake up and God has put ear in your body, you have to make the intentional steps of becoming like Christ. Every single day.
Every day of life.
Now, what would this suggest? The older you are with Christ, the longer that you are with him, is the more you have become. Now, that's what it suggests, doesn't necessarily mean that it's the truth. Right? Doesn't necessarily it's the truth. Right? Now, I'm not talking about performance as based on like you do a lot of godly things. Okay? Because a lot of us can do a lot of godly work, but we have not become. What I mean is all our actions, our thought life, our behavior is moved into saying, I got to become like him. Right? That's word again. Journey. How long did the disciples walk with Jesus? Anybody know? 3 years. So it was 3 years that he took to teach them. And then even after that Jesus died, they were still becoming. They were still on the journey. With me so far? This is important, right? Because when we talk about discipleship, we know we have a discipleship class, and certain churches have discipleship class where you go in, you get a certificate, they stamp it, and they say you are a disciple. Class over. I got my papers, and I'm here to tell you, it doesn't end with them stamping your certificate. Why your face look like that?
No, because the church that, I don't want to say left,
Uh-huh.
the church that what I said crossover to here
Yeah,
from, I was in a discipleship,
Uh-huh.
actually
a discipleship class. Yep,
deep stuff.
absolutely.
And things that, like how you say, you said becoming, but we had books, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Yes, we got a little paper, but we had to action.
Uh-huh.
Action.
Uh-huh.
We had lots of after whatever on Saturdays going out.
Yep.
Blah, blah, blah. But the class was in depth.
Yes. Now the discipleship class that they have is after you got you commit your life to Christ or maybe baptized, what they put you through these 4-week, 5-week, 6-week discipleship classes. And they're good in the sense because it basically goes through what the disciples, the behaviors, the actions, love, peace, joy, pray. They give you all these spiritual disciplines about fasting. They teach you about prayer life.
I wish I had gotten that when I first got saved.
Okay.
Going through
The process. Now, the thing, what happens is in the discipleship classes, they give off, sometimes it can give off the false notion that after your 4 weeks, discipleship for you is over. That you've got your certificate, hang it on your wall, I am a disciple. And, or we think, okay, we go through the class for 2 years, I'm a disciple. Yes. And you realize more and more that how long have you known the Lord? How long have you been walking with the Lord? Yes. A long time? Can you have a? Okay. From high school? So we talking about. I don't want to necessarily give away your age, but okay. Serving the Lord more than 20 years. Hand in the air. Have you serving the Lord more than 20 years? Okay. Serving the Lord more than 10 years. Okay. Okay, let's do this because the average 20 is going to put up. Serving the Lord from 3 to 10 years. No, you're more than that. 3 to 10 years? 3 to 10 years. Okay? Serving the Lord is the next category. 10 to 15 years. Who's in that range from 10 years to 15? Who's in the 15 to 25 years? 15 to 25. Who's in it from 25 up? Okay. All right. So we see the ranges or the groupings, the differences, and I don't care if you're at 2 months, right? To all the way to 30 years, you are still becoming. You are absolutely still becoming. And 10 years from now, you are still becoming. Because there's still levels of peace you got to learn. Trust. Love. Commitment. Say that word. Would you say it again? Oh, that's the F word. I can't use it right now. That's the F word. Y'all know what that F word in Christianity is? Forgiveness. That word? You want to talk about the bane or the struggle word that we have in church? That don't say it. Don't say the F word. Don't say it. That F word you say? All of us are still learning how to master, to become more forgiving. And part of that, wherever you see learning forgiveness, you're speaking of one word. When we talk about the F word, we're talking about how you handle that. Because your forgiveness and what people do to you will challenge how you view this. What's done to you, what's done wrong and what's right, everything about from the beginning of time until the book closes is God walking us through how he showcases his love. How he is challenges with different circumstances, different people turning their back on him, them rejecting him, serving other gods, not listening, disobedient. All of that is showing you different forms of picture of God's love and his forgiveness. And I don't care how old you are, there's going to be something what's going to challenge, not necessarily your forgiveness, but it's going to challenge the love of Christ that you're supposed to be like. I could go through story. I don't want to go through the F word, because anytime we start talking about forgiveness, we would not stop. But the flip side of me talking about your forgiveness is me examining the way you love. So anytime we get caught up in forgiveness, while you're talking about forgiveness, I'm thinking about ways that someone's challenging how you love. Right? You hear forgiveness, I hear love.
Sorry.
Yeah?
I laugh because the church that I crossed over to
Okay.
from,
Uh-huh.
they changed the theme now when I went back one Sunday.
Uh-huh.
But love your neighbor. That was the thing we were working on.
Mm-hmm.
Love each other
Mm-hmm.
and love your city.
Mm-hmm. Right. And it's easy.
Hard.
Yeah, right. Because
To practice.
love flows out of your mouth when we say love everybody. That's easy and warm. Right? If I say love everyone, everybody ain't gonna say yes, praise him. I say forgive everyone. See how the difference? There's a different in the stomach. I say love everyone, amen. I say forgive everyone, it's like, ooh, hold up now. Okay, hold on, brother. You went too far now. I was cool with the love everyone, but now you crossed over to forgive everyone.
You know, Pastor, yesterday, Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
my big daughter were kind of shaky, you know,
Mm-hmm.
not hiding. So
Yeah.
she was being offended by what I said something to her Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So she called me today, and she was like, "Oh, mother, I forgive." She started the conversation. She was like, "I forgive you with the love of God." So when she said that, so I said, "What is it? Wow, you mean you forgive me by the love of God?" She said, "Yes." No, that's fine. Even after mama was I thinking about it, because then she don't want to be saying,
Yeah.
or maybe she not mean it, so she said, "So what she know?"
Yeah.
So she'll forgive me with the love of God,
Right.
and she love me with the love of
I forgive you with the love of, I forgive you with the love of God. There's a lot in that. There's a lot going on in that, and now it's probably not the setting for us to like break down. I love you, or even when somebody say I love you with the love of Christ. There's a lot in them saying that I love you with the love of Christ. You know what they're saying. It's almost personally I don't, but because Jesus is a part of it. That's what, when I say I love you with the love of Christ, it's almost as I'm saying I am being forced by our obligation or commitment to Christ to extend love to you. Because if it wasn't Christ, you would not. You would not. And so almost, and I'm not even going to suggest, because I don't know what she mean, and nor am I going to put words in her mouth. But if somebody say I forgive you with the I love you and I forgive you with the love of Christ, is if it wasn't Christ, this ain't from me, right? And so what we do, what I say while we becoming, is because we keep Christ separate than ourselves, and there's two different love sections. And so there's a duality. I don't want to use these big words. There's a duality. There's me, and then there's Christ. There's my love, and then there's his love. And they're two separate things. Does that make sense? I'm loving here. I love you with this, but this part, no way. Oh, absolutely. 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 And they forget that as we walk with Christ, we become him. And so there isn't any him, me, it's I. We don't know where it doesn't appear yet, but I'm going to be like him, right? So I have to love as he loved. I have to give as he gave. Not that I'm giving out of Stephen and have Christ. You know, there's no such thing. It should be no separation. What shall separate me? Right? There should be no separation where I'm loving out of Stephen Bank and not out of the Bank of Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like there's two different banks. This is the Christ Bank. But if it was coming from myself, oh, no way. You ain't getting out of it. No way. I'm not loving you out of myself.
There are times in life, well, I'll speak for myself.
Yes.
When I do go, oh God, this is hard.
Yes.
You expect me to do this?
Right. Now.
Like, can you just excuse me this one time?
Yes.
And then there are times you just fall into loving it the way he wants us to love others.
And I'm glad you said that, because it's difficult, right? But the more that we keep emphasizing the difference between myself and God, then it becomes difficult. Because in all of this,
Is it because we're walking in the flesh at that time and not in the spirit? I don't know.
another F word. Here's another F word for you. The opposite of that. The other side of that. The other side of your flesh. Faith. that when I love, I don't necessarily sometimes want to or feel like it. But my faith is going to produce the evidence that things are getting better. So I'm loving out of faith. I forgive out of it too. Right? Now faith is the substance of things hoped for. It gives me the evidence of something that didn't happen yet. With me so far? Faith is the substance of things hoped for. It gives me the evidence of something that I haven't seen yet. You're nasty. But faith in my love says you're going to change. And my love can be that seed that changes things. Does that make sense? Forgiveness too. Forgiveness is an act of faith. Because it doesn't know. But faith says it's not just hope, it's producing evidence. I'm going to forgive you. I'm hurting. I'm hurting. You just stabbed me in my back and I'm still bleeding. See that right there? Here you go. You see the evidence? There it is, right here. Faith says, forgive. Okay.
There are times in church
Yes.
when you say, I don't know, maybe you're preaching on it, I don't know.
Okay.
And then you'll say, now everyone, go to someone in the church that you feel you have offended.
Mm-hmm.
And go over and hug them and tell them you love them and that you forgive them.
Yeah.
Some churches.
No, but no, you
And
can.
so
Absolutely.
Everybody will know I have offended that person. You know what I mean?
Well, again, it's trying to spur action. It's trying to spur movement towards closing the gap between, because some of us will continue living separate from each other and think that it's fine. And think that it's fine.
Can you break that down?
Like, we'll live in hostility between each other. There's a wall that goes up between us, and we will pretend.
Mask.
We can, right? And then we'll be fine with it,
Gotcha.
right? And that goes opposed to Scripture, because everything about Christ's discipleship and journey, he never said, Pharisees, I'm keeping over there, and I'm going to be over there. He taught on every wall separation. Again, I believe we all have our own personal doctrines that we try to adapt, and we walk in trying to be right more than the truth. Does that make sense? Almost what we search more to be right than to be truthful.
We call it
Or political
political correctness.
correctness, or what we have our own doctrines and beliefs that we pull into what our Bible says. And when our Bible says, no, you can't treat that person that way. You have to love. You have to love those that spitefully use you with intent. All right? Now again, it goes back to that B word again. Coming. It's not something that you're going to master overnight. It is a process.
And then the person hurts you, and then, okay, you're on that journey of forgiving. And there comes another one.
Another one. Guess what? And then you walk down a little further.
Another one.
Okay, let's talk a little bit. Let's keep going.
Is this with the same person?
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be. Let's do Ephesians 5. Let's open our Bibles to Ephesians 5. It can be.
You know, when you say that, it sounds like it's candy.
Oh, Oh, it's candy? It can be repeated offenders. Repeated offenders, and they could be in your house.
Don't go there. No, I'm sorry.
Right? They could be repeated offenders that are in your house or in your vicinity or in your church, right? Right? And what's hard is, man, there's so much now. Y'all just bringing out. I wasn't even trying to go this way, and y'all just bringing out a whole bunch of stuff. Right? It is that we tend to look at years of service versus crime. Years of them been saved. They've been saved too long to do X, Y, Z. They should know better, right? Because they've been serving the Lord plus 15 years.
But not everybody's mature up to that.
There it is. I don't know everyone's level of developing. Right?
Some are still on the milk.
Some on different stages. And every now and again, there are occasions where we all slip and mess up. All right? All right. Ephesians 5, verse 1. Okay, let me open my Bible. Follows God's example, therefore, dearly loved children, and walk in the way of love, just as Christ loved us and gave himself up for us as a flagrant, we did this before, flagrant offering and sacrifice to God. Okay, let's talk about that for a second. All right. The challenge for Christian life, or Christian lifestyle, is to live a life of love that is modeled on the love of God for us. Right? The challenge is divine love loves the unlovable.
Like unconditional love.
Divine love loves the unlovable, the unfavorable, the what you hate. Divine loves whatever you hate. Minus sin, of course. Divine loves the unlovable, the unlovely, the unloving. The difference between human love and divine love is divine love loves the unlovable, the unfavorable. Human love loves what's lovable. With me, somebody? Human love loves what's likable. Divine love loves what's unlovable. And the more you see, you can see God's love through hate.
Wow.
It shines like a light in darkness. God's love shines the brightest in hate. If you are still loving while you are surrounded by hate, yeah, that's divine.
That's a test.
That's divine love. Because when the Bible says the darkness comprehended not, the darkness doesn't understand the light. That's what it's trying to say. The light of the world, he came, and the darkness couldn't understand, couldn't comprehend. You loving people that hate you, nobody can understand that. Nobody will be able to understand how do you love that person or that place where they are spitefully. Right? Okay. Now we got into it way before I wanted to get there, but since we was here already, the forgiveness is the greatest obstacle for Christian maturity. For Christian love, the greatest obstacle for Christian mature love is forgiveness. That is your greatest obstacle. I can tell you right now, your greatest obstacle for your love is forgiveness. You're going to battle with, should I forgive? Now, check what I just said. Not, did God forgive? Should I? Because you know the answer. Will Christ forgive? Yes. The battle is, should I do it? That's what we're fighting ourselves over, because we obviously, all of us know in situations, whatever we go through, if Christ was here, he would forgive. Agreed? Yes. Agreed. And so the battle, the greatest battle is not what Christ would do, is that I'm battling myself, what should I do?
Remember that sign years ago?
What would Jesus do? Absolutely. And you know why that was there? It is to remind you what you should do. That's why they wore those what would Jesus do? WWJD. Right? It was to every time, these little bracelets, every time you go through situations, you were supposed to look at the acronym and remind yourself, okay, I can't scream, because if Jesus was in this situation, he wouldn't have. And so you remind yourself each time, if Jesus was in this position, what would he do? The conflict is, we fight with it, I ain't Jesus. Even though we should be becoming like him. Remember when we were talking about that we've been ourselves sometimes longer than we've been saved. We depend on how long you've been, right? We've been ourselves the longer we saved. So I may have 15 years of myself before I met Christ, which is battling. My history is battling what Christ is saying about me. And sometimes we don't let Christ move all the way in. We just keep him in particular areas of our life. Christ, be Christ in church. Christ, you can be Christ here. I'm going to be God-like in church, Christ-like in church. But I don't bring that same attitude at home. He doesn't move into all the way at home. Does that make sense? We leave him at the steps. We leave him at the steps or at the front. We say, God, Christ, you just sit outside for a second. Let me go handle my business. Let me Vaseline my face. Hold on, Jesus. And so let somebody get on your nerve. We put the Jesus aside for a second. God, let me just handle this 1 second. I'll be back to you in a minute. Let me just curse this person out real quick, and I'll get back to you. Stay right outside, God. Cover your ears. You don't even want to hear this. I wish, I'm trying to visualize, to make you visualize it. That's what we do. We compartmentalize Jesus, and certain areas of our life, he can't take over, because we believe we run it better than him. You can captain my Christian life, my 291 life. When I'm in the settings, you can master that. Maybe a little part at work, but there's some areas at home, I don't need that gentle, humble Jesus. I need a bully. I need a bully, Jesus. And right now, that as peaceful as a dove ain't working. I wish I had. So nobody don't look at me. Don't look. But I'm telling the truth. Like right now, that peaceful and harmless as the dove ain't working. This need force. We're coming out the ticket by force. Coming out the ticket. Nah, go left it.
Pastor, you're laughing.
I'm trying.
I want to laugh, but I can't because all that you're saying, I have a little book. Excuse me. And then I write in, like my journal, and all you shit.
Absolutely.
In a house, and I wrote it like the next thing to preach on, if I could, would be how to stay. What? I had left the book in the car. How to stay grounded as a Christian around blah blah blah. I think these things are tests.
Let me tell you.
These things are tests.
Absolutely. Let me tell you something honest. Be honest. There are environments that dictate what type of person you're gonna be. Beforehand, you already know that you're gonna walk in a bull, because it dictates the environment dictates what person's gonna come out of you. Before you get there, it is already saying that soft you don't come out here. And the environment, it's almost, take for instance, like when we used to go to DMV. And you already know at DMV, I gotta be a little bit more forceful, right? And I gotta be a little more forceful so I can't be a pushover. There are environments that you already conditioned yourself that I'm going to be this way. This is my place, and I'm going to be this way. And that Jesus that's at church ain't coming in this place, because I'm the Don here. I don't know why anybody want to talk to me for a second. That's for everybody. While you're driving too. When you're driving and somebody cuts you off, I'm a Don here. At my house, I'm a Don here. In this particular room, I'm a Don here. And nobody's going to take advantage of me right here.
That's the key word.
No one will take advantage of me right here. The environment. Instead of you dictating to the environment. Now, there are places automatically we feel a little that I got to be a little bit more forceful. We walk into rooms sometimes, you got to say, nobody better not try nothing today.
Why is that, sir? Why is that? Oh my.
I'm just
Throwing it out.
I just want people to be honest with me. I want you to be honest with me.
Now that you've listed different places, I get you.
Think about the environments that you walk into. Let's go through this. Think about the environments go to. What are some environments Jesus is left on the outside? What are some places where you know Jesus doesn't really fully sit down in the room?
I'm going to list it, but I don't go there.
You don't have to tell me.
Bar, I guess I'm figuring the bar.
Well, you don't go there. But what I'm saying, I'm talking about home. I'm talking about home, even relationships. What are some people around that Jesus doesn't fully walk? That you already, there is people around that automatically, there is a friction already. Good morning, we're ready. Bulls ready. Good morning, good morning.
And the workers.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. That person, they don't have to say a word. You see their face and you're ready. Jesus is on the outside. He's already, he ain't walking up in here. Don't come up in here, Jesus, because somebody about to get punched. I'm ready. I'm on. When that person walk by, Jesus on the outside. I'm not talking about no bar. I'm not talking about bar. I'm talking about home. I'm talking about church. I'm talking about work. It pulls somebody else out of you. And you say, Jesus, sit down right here. I got this one.
the person see too? Sometimes.
The person see it because there could be two Christians. It could be two Christians.
Oh, against.
Yeah, two Christians where nobody, they ain't no Jesus today. Say something. Say something.
Oh my God.
And he ain't walking.
Isn't that a natural? The rest is in us.
Yes. Yes. That's what I'm trying to say. Christ want to take over the rooms, but we shut the door. That's all I want to say. We predetermined Christ should not come in here. We've set the environment, we've set the tone, we set who it is, we've set it, and we've predetermined the environment already. There are environments, I believe, that dictate who comes out already. When we know we gear up, we drive into it, we gear up to say, ain't no Jesus walking up in here. And we've marked the room. I'm telling you, in your head right now, you picturing the person and you're picturing the room. Where two cocks fighting. And Jesus, and here's the thing, you walk out of anywhere else, and Jesus could walk in. And that's who he's trying to take over. That's the part of your life where that becoming has to be worked. The relationships, the rooms, the environments, they predetermine who you're going to be instead of you determine. Does that make sense? And we mark it. Now, this is not where I was going, I promise you, but you guys are always pulling things out. Mark it in your head, what are the rooms? Mark it in your head, what are the people? Don't tell me, I don't want to need to know. Mark it in, what are the rooms, what are the people, what are the time of day? What are the time of day, what are the situations that pull out of you? What are the people? Mark it in your day. If anybody know what I'm saying? Yes. What are the people? What people are that you're around that you know the best you don't come out? What are the rooms in your house, at work, where automatically Jesus is left on the outside because you're already predetermined that gentle as a dove can't work here? Where the room is not filled with this. Yes, I'm sorry if you can't see that.
The wrestle that we go through
Not flesh and blood.
is the wrestle a part of the becoming.
Yes. Yes. Because we wrestle not against flesh or blood, right? So it is a constant grappling. Constant grappling. And the grappling also is with the love that God wants you. He's going to place you in positions or places, environments where the love ain't there. And you have to make the decision, I'm going to love in this room. And change the sweet, remember we talking about the sweet smelling Savior. I'm going to change the room. And here's what he says. Oh man, look at the time. Here's what he says. That the way Christ gave himself for us as a fragrant, as an offering, a sacrifice to God. All right? Let me add this to a sacrifice. What is a sacrifice? What is a sacrifice? Okay.
He didn't want to do it, and he wrestled, but then he had to do what he didn't want to do.
Okay.
It's denying
Huh?
what you really want.
Okay. Sacrifice is giving up what you deem important. Sacrifice is giving up what you have marked as very important. Right? Sacrifices are letting go or giving up what you deem important in order for correction. Think about it. When I'm sacrificing something to God, what is the thought about when you sacrifice to God? What do you think about? When I'm giving something, huh? When you're sacrificing, even when you're fasting, you're giving up food, what do you think is making you? Say it. Better. Every time you sacrifice something, you give something up, you're giving up with the thought, it's going to make me better. Does that make sense? When I give up something and I kill something, I am saying God is going to correct or make me better. When I sacrifice my opinion, sacrifice my anger, what I thought is important to me, I am sacrificing it with the thought and the knowledge that God is going to make me better. Now, let's back up a little taste. Every room that we go into where we say Christ is not allowed, what's important to us is people not taking advantage of us. And so in that same room, in that position that you have, that people, that place, that thing, you got to die in that room.
Sometimes you have to even tell the person that you're sorry, even when you're not.
You have to die in that room. You have to sacrifice your opinion. You got to sacrifice your reputation. You got to sacrifice your pride. You got to sacrifice getting what you want. You got to sacrifice having it your way. You have to die. Every time you die to something, you are saying, I'm doing it because I need to do it in order for Christ to make me better. You can't get better until you die. That's what sacrifices is. Sacrifices is giving up something for correction. That God will correct us. Because when you die, especially with Christ, when you die, you are reborn into something different. I am crucified with Christ. Come on, finish it. I'm crucified. Nevertheless, who lives? He lives in me. The reason why we can't love is because we refuse to die to our hate. Yes. Yes.
Fast, right?
Yes.
And we kill some stuff.
Yes.
But then, later on,
Mm-hmm.
we see the same stuff.
Yes.
So, yeah, the standing and the withstanding, I find that it's important for me to learn to withstand. Because these things, they do resurface.
Mm-hmm.
But for me personally, what it means is that it's important that I remember that I already took this ground.
Mm-hmm.
And that I behold what that which I have already.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, remember, it's not it's a warfare.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul said the rest is not against flesh and blood.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about standing,
Mhm.
weak standing.
Mm-hmm.
So for me personally, I have to remember
Mm-hmm.
that I took this ground,
Mm-hmm.
you know, a month ago or 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how, and for me, that's what withstanding means. To hold on the ground that I took.
Mm-hmm. You hold on to it. Can I add that you can die, but the results may stay the same. Your dying is not for somebody else. I don't die for you to change.
That's good. That's real. That's so real.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't die for Vicky. I have to die for me to change. Vicky got to die on her own. And if I only die for results, I'll be frustrated. And I will stop killing, or I'll stop submitting. I will stop because I'm not getting the results that I want. Make sense? I can't die for you.
You come here going to the gym.
You know what it's like? It's like two people in a relationship. Two people in a relationship, you hear it all the time, that they started dating, and maybe the guy or the girl, one of them don't know the Lord, and this person starts fasting for that person to change.
Yes. Yeah.
Lord, I'm going fasting for them. I'm going fasting for them to change. Not for me, for them. And there are areas of our life where there's nothing I can do can change you. I see you're formulating. Go ahead.
Withstanding,
Yes.
for me personally,
Yes.
is the fact that it's my personal struggle, my wrestling
Yes.
that goes on inside that nobody sees.
Yes.
Nobody knows about.
Right.
But the fact that I know that when I sacrifice,
Mm-hmm.
because we see fasting as not just not eating,
Yes.
but I believe fasting is more than that.
Absolutely.
That in us giving up
Mm-hmm.
the type of fasting that God asks for,
Mm-hmm.
that I will see the poor and I will see the hungry and naked, I will take care of these things.
Mhm.
I'm sacrificing.
Mm-hmm.
Even if, for me personally,
Mm-hmm.
the things that, and I think it has sometimes to do with reunion and where I am as a believer,
Mm-hmm.
because we know
Right.
it's not a plane.
Right.
So I'm here this week,
Right.
and if I'm not mindful,
You'll be somewhere else.
next year I'll be somewhere else.
Absolutely.
Next week. So my maintaining and my withstanding
Mm-hmm.
is to strive to be consistent.
Yes.
So pretty much that's what I meant. And withstanding
Mm-hmm.
and knowing that which I have already given up. And the Lord has already walked me to this place.
Mm-hmm.
And I was comfortable to give up $1 or $2.
Mm-hmm.
And next week, I'm thinking the same dollar
Mm-hmm.
that I promised the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm going to do it for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's for me to know, to remember, to maintain,
Mm-hmm.
and to withstand that the Lord has walked me through this already,
Mm-hmm.
and for me to be consistent so that I may become.
You're becoming, again, remember, we are wrestling against habits, behaviors, in order to get consistency. And so our history sometimes, or what we've been through, we are fighting that to repeat going back. It's that repetition, not to go back to what we used to. You can see the wilderness was one of those things where they were fighting, God was fighting to get Egypt out of them, right? And so he had to even change the way they ate. because it was a part of them. Egypt was so much a part of them that even in freedom, it couldn't get them out. They did not. They could not become a nation because slavery is still inside of them, right? And so that transformation process is God is trying to make individuals that's grumpy and complain into a healthy nation. And that wilderness is God's trying to change. I got to change the way you eat. I got to change the way you think. Because the moment you start complaining, you want to go back. Does that make sense? The moment something doesn't happen the way you like, you resort to Egyptian ways.
Let's talk about that. It's always funny, though. We always bring up conversations from work. So a friend of mine on work, lately she's been doing a lot of, I guess, for lack of a better word, like cosmetic surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I said to her, up to today, I said I had a family member who went through this. I said, but when my family member went through it, I said, it was the first person I ever seen gone through it, where the surgeon made as a part of the process, you had to go to psychological support.
Yes.
I said, because I had a friend who done it in high school.
Yes.
Friend from high school who did it. And the irony is, and I explained to this person, I said, because I saw the person yesterday, and like every time I see her, like her eyes make full, we crack up.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at her and I said, "What'd you do now?" And she bust out laughing. And the funny thing that like why she laughed and why she didn't ask me again today, she was like, "You can tell I did something." I said, "Whatever you did, don't do anymore."
Right.
And she goes to me, and I brought up the whole thing about psychologically. This is kind of to piggyback off of your point about the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
I think also part of the wilderness experience is that you psychologically,
Mm-hmm.
you decompress, or you decompose, you destructure
Mm-hmm.
the Egyptian lifestyle,
Mhm.
or just the whole idea of you being institutionalized in
Mhm.
bondage for this many years.
Right.
Because every time the person looks in the mirror,
They still see that other person.
they still see the old me.
Yep. And they still have the same appetite.
Yes. And
So-
it's funny, we said that. I said, you can't just do surgery. You have to change
Yes.
your entire lifestyle.
Right.
Your diet.
Yep.
Your exercise.
Yep.
Like your thought process.
Yep.
I said, because until you decompose or destructure that image of that individual,
Yes, you'll still be that.
all it is, you just keep chasing stuff that
So, I'm not sure if you heard what Pastor Leck was saying. There was people that go through cosmetic surgery, as far as weight loss. Sometimes they will go through and they may sometimes tie their stomach. They may put a balloon in it. They may shrink it. So they do it so that they can lose the weight. Now, the problem is that sometimes, although they lose the weight and they do the surgery, psychologically they still see themselves as big. Not only psychologically see themselves as big, their appetite remains the same. So they still eat like a big person too. And so what happens is that they are supposed to adjust their appetite as well. And it's hard because although they're small, they still see themselves as big, although they had the surgery. Same thing when Israel gets out of Egypt, in the wilderness, they're still, soon as something goes wrong, they resort back to Egyptian ways. When the results we don't like pop up, we go back to what's comfortable. And so consistency is always hard, especially when we don't get what we want. Does that make sense? And so loving consistently will be difficult when the people that we're loving, hate springs up every now and again. And we say, I'm doing my best, and these results still stay the same. And our reasoning is, I'm living like this, and this don't work, so I'm going to do this, instead of just keep doing it consistently, because it's not about their transformation, it's about your own. Nothing outside of you. This is not about them. It's God transforming you. The only one that can transform them, he sits on a throne that you can't sit on. And the moment you become God over somebody else's life, you're going to be frustrated because you're going to lose the ability to control your own. The more I try to control you, I lose the ability to control me. So when you're out of control, guess what's out of control? Me. When you are frustrated and I can't control your frustration, guess what happens? My frustration. Your anger and I can't control your anger, guess who gets angry? I get angry. You stop giving and stuff, guess who stopped giving? I stop giving. So now my life just is a reflection of what I can't control in you. And then sometimes we get even worse where we try to manipulate. When I can't get you to do it through prayer, I'm going to get you to do it through manipulation. If I can't get you to do it through fasting, I'm going to fast and hold back some things on you, or you're going to do it my way. I mean, I could break it down in some other things, like personal. Well, oh, you won't give me this? Well, you ain't getting none of this. Until you change, you ain't getting anything over here. And it's no longer fasting, it's manipulation. Oh, you not changing? Well, you ain't getting none of my money. Starve then. Now we're putting it in our hands instead of God's, and now we become God. Does that make sense? When we can't love through it, we can manipulate through it.
You know, Pastor, as you mentioned that after getting saved and looking back where the person God strategically set up in my life to lead me to him, I remember this lady, because the night time we used to sit on my name, I was sitting on a smoke. And she used to come and she's sitting in the middle of us. And she's sitting there and she's ministering to us there. And I wonder how she do it. Because sometimes I'm so annoyed, honestly I'm telling you. Especially if I'm trying to, even with my son, I can tell him. Sometimes I feel like that's it, I can't do it. Ministering to this young one, not seeing any changes, but going back to the same old, getting discouraged.
Yeah.
And it becomes frustrating as well. So as I said, it has to do with you being
In control. It's hard to see things that's not changing. And back to the same thing over and over and over. And you're trying. It's a struggle. Our problem is we all struggle for, we want control. And if God's way don't work, I'm going to do something else. If I can't get it through God, I'm going to get it through me. Right. If he can't make the way, then I'm going to do it. Make sense? And so that's why it's important when we becoming, you know, what the process of becoming and being imitators of Christ, right? The results are not always going to be there. And it's not about the instant. We all want that. We want the instant gratification of things changing, and we can be, hallelujah, it changed. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Let me get some oil. And the way God works is that, again, sometimes he's working it out in them, and a lot of times he's working it out in you.
My eyes crossed.
Yeah. It's not their hate. It's yours. Right? You want to change their hate, and you keep looking at their hate, and you're not realizing, have you checked your hate lately?
No.
Have you checked your level of frustration lately? Oh, it's them. It's them. I mean, again, in this position, you always hear it's them. It's them.
I'm going to tell you something, Pastor, and I smile over it Sunday. And I look at it and I remember, but I'm not going to tell you
explain what it is about.
Okay, you're going to put it in code.
Code. I remember a lady in church, and every Sunday, I'm dead for that little because I love her.
Mm-hmm.
Tell you the truth, I love that girl. I'm not going to tell you the
Okay.
but I love her. When I come here, I just love that little girl.
Mm-hmm.
And every Sunday party, I see her. They carry her up at the altar. And every minute they carry her up at the altar. I said, Lord, believe me, I pray for her.
Right.
Because I love her. And Sunday when I see she come up, I tell you so. You have to read it between the lines.
Yeah, I got to read between the lines. Yeah, all right.
I say when she come up,
Right.
I see her up there, I say, Lord,
Mm-hmm.
thank you, Jesus. Because one of the time, Pastor said, if somebody don't want to come to the altar one day, I don't know if it, you just, when
Right.
you're preaching and
Right.
you say, if somebody don't want to come to the altar, don't carry them up or don't,
Yeah.
something. I said, Lord Jesus, I must make that means. I said,
No.
I said, pray for that little girl. I said, right now, I'm going to ask her to just pray for our little girl for me.
Okay. Oh, that's
I'm not going to tell you.
You're not telling me. Don't tell me. You remember, I water, somebody else plant,
Yes.
right?
Tell you what,
Apollo's waters, or I plant, Apollo's water, and who gives the increase? Meaning the results,
yes.
right? We're not the master. We don't control results. We don't control results. I'm going to tell you right now, one of the most frustrating places that you're going to be in your life is controlling the results of somebody else.
That's right. That's what that is it because it comes like
Yep. And especially if the person, you don't talk that much or you talk that much and they look like they're going in reverse and you're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, they're getting worse, they're getting worse.
It's like praying for something and
It's getting worse.
the more you pray,
Yeah, it's frustrating. And watch it, they're not changing. It's making you worse too.
Oh my God.
Do you notice that? Them not changing, it's eating away at you. Silently. You want to see them change to make you feel better. Most of the times, it's not for God, it's for you. I would love one day we just sit down and talk and just talk. Yeah, no, because you're talking about a different type of change.
Yes.
You're type of, and even sometimes that time, in a way, sometimes too, because some people want to bring people up for the shine of it too.
Uh-oh.
Not to say that you do. Some people want to say, I led this person to Christ.
Right.
but the Holy Spirit knows that.
Listen, I've been in church long enough to see people bring people up and say that I inspired that, and you had nothing to do with that. That's God working. That's God, and then look what I did. Right? Yeah, I get it. But there's some people. But what I'm saying again, there is that selfishness in results that you can take credit. Right? That's God.
God did it.
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 And likewise, it goes to when I want to see somebody change, especially if it's annoying. It's annoying. And it's like, and everything they do is like just a zzz, and you're like,
And especially if you're in the same environment.
Oh yeah, of course. You live in the environment. Come on, y'all coming straight down your road. You can live in the environment. You want somebody to change and it don't happen.
You know your house too?
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your house. You want them to change. You desire for them to change because you know if they change, things will get better. But you don't have to you have to realize too, you forcing that change is messing you up too. When we just let go, we don't believe in listen. I'm going to let go, let God handle this. I'm not going to interfere in your transformation process. I need God to work on me because there's obviously some things that you're doing that I got to stop being so sensitive to. I can't let myself be exposed to how you touch my nerves so much. God, deal with my nerves so this person can't keep touching it, playing the piano on my nerves. That's got to be your prayer. That you can't poke me like you used to. I don't jump every time you go. I don't jump every time. Or every time you pull my string.
My mother, first time I go to Jamaica, I couldn't believe it. Well, growing up with her, she cursed bad word. Like, every sentence there in like more than words. And I keep telling her, Mama, you need to stop. First school time, believe me, just to get on your nerve.
Yeah.
I just stopped talking to her, I leave her alone. And then one of my brothers, the same thing, the two of us, and it was shocking. Last year I went, January this year. Nothing. Not a word. I said, whoa, Mama, you stop pressing. She said, me tired down, no telling me.
Right. you know what changed? The anointing of ignoring.
Yes, but you have to keep fighting, and
Hear me. You give it as much attention as you can. But then there comes a point where you have to surrender. You have to surrender. If you don't surrender, it's going to kill you. Right? You have to surrender some things. And when we say, we're going to pass our time, leave it in the hand of God. What does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean? What does it mean when you say leave it in the hands of God? Why do you keep picking it up? My question is why you keep picking it up.
It is in my surrounding.
Okay. That doesn't mean.
It doesn't just affect me, it affects other persons.
There's a particular result that you want. Right? Right. And that's the thing. You're fighting for a result. For something else, for somebody else. What about for you? How about a result that you want somebody else to do? Have you looked at a result that you should do? Besides wanting them to change. Is there something else that you can get a change that's outside of yourself and them doing what you want? Well, investigate a change that has nothing to do with something, that has nothing to do with somebody else. Investigate something about you need to change outside of them. Because I don't care how much you pray, only God can do that. With me? So, in your head, everybody has a result that they want. That's the ideal. Let's say, I want Jeannie to change. I want Sister Lorna to change. I want her when she comes into church to say hi to me every Sunday. I want when I see her, I want for her to smile and say, good morning, Stephen. That's what I want. That's all dependent now. All of my joy and my peace is dependent on what she does. And the moment she don't give it to me, you know what's going to happen. I'm mad. And now I got to take control from her actions that I place here, take it away from her. And put it, what do you got to do? Why do I want her to smile so badly? Why do I want her to say hi to me so badly? How can I change my desires, my expectations for her? And maybe she's not at the place right now to give me that. She's not there.
Pastor, how would somebody else, it's like telepathic, how would she know that you want that?
Well, she could know too, because she could be at the place where I'm not going to give it to you. Right? She could know too, because obviously sometimes when we talk about the same places, they know exactly what you want. They know what you want, but they know it's going to make you mad if I withhold you, if I would not give it to you. So I enjoy when you mad, because I still want to control your behavior. And the moment they can't control it, they will stop it.
It could be too,
The moment, because if I make you mad, that's control. They know. When you're talking about living in the same environments, you know what I like, you know what I want, and you purposely withhold it because I'm not happy, and I don't want to make you happy. Right? And then to the moment when I say, if you don't give it, I'm good. Because they're fighting the battle too. You want it, and they're trying to keep it from you. And so y'all both fight it. I want it, I ain't giving it to you. I want it, I ain't giving it to you. I want it, I ain't giving it to you. I'm going to stop asking for it.
Can I ask you something?
Because what you want, what you want somebody has their fist, and you do, this is what you're doing. Open, give me your hand. Open it, open it. Instead of you saying, for somebody just to say, here. Our tactic, we have one approach sometimes where we force somebody's hand open. And that all the time, sometimes you got to walk away for that closed hand, and God will feed you somewhere else. Right? We'll stay banging at a door. Remember when he says, when you go to a town and they reject you, wipe off your feet, because there's another door. Some of us bang on closed doors. We bang it down. Open this, open this, open it. And God will show you there's an open door somewhere else. I don't want to be me to Mother Denton. She asked me, she was going to say something.
Yeah, what I'm saying, you have family member and they give their life to the Lord. They're not going to church.
Right.
Not sending their kids to church. And
Right.
Every time I talk to them,
Mhm.
it's like they're not listening to me,
Mhm.
and it really hurt, to see the kids not going to church and all those things. So what? I'm bothering them?
Yeah, you should stop.
Okay.
Because I trust me, they know already. How long you been telling them to come to church? A long time? And so it's at the point where they know. They already know your position. They know how you feel.
Yeah.
There's nothing else you can explain to them differently than what you've been saying for years.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to take a new approach to it. And I can guarantee, because sometimes what happens is that they've grown to expect that you're going to say that, and they purposely avoid you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know what you're going to say, so I'm not even going to hear it. I'm just going to walk away from you. And then you switch it up, and they're like, I bet your grandma, or I bet you somebody coming and tell me about church. And you say, good morning. You say, wait, she didn't ask me about church? No, I'm not asking you. I've done asking you. You are grown. You could do. And they be like, what? You take out the garbage. I'm not asking you anymore.
That's true.
I'm gonna ask you to take out the garbage anymore. That's fine. I'll just do it. No more. And not do it with a, I'm just gonna take it out. Don't do it that. I'm just gonna do it. All right, whatever they wanted, you do it not with the attitude with that because you can't make it look like it's reverse psychology. You got to make it look like I'm doing this because I don't want any more. So I'm going to change. I'm not going to ask you anymore. You won't hear from me anymore. This is what you're going to do. I'm good. Okay? Because this is going to govern my actions. That love is in all different forms. Because I'm becoming. That's what I'm doing. Not for friendship, not for getting along. I'm doing this because I want to be like him. Badly. I want to be like him. And I want you to see that I'm going to be like him. Let your light shine among who?
For men.
Men that you like, men that you hate, men that's in your house, men that's not out your house, men that every environment, let your light show shine so they can recognize him.
That's true, Pastor. Very true.
We always picture this as somebody, let your light shine among men. We think of it outside our house. Majority of the times it's inside your house.
That's a fact true. I remember I used to get my mouth.
your Christianity has to shine most among people you know.
That's it.
Okay.
In your, okay,
I'm sorry. But wait,
the end, right?
no, I want to. I'm trying to make it in, but it seems like there's so much more because I know this is an area. Again, I struggle. Well, you're hearing this. You're hearing real struggle too. That's what it is. The passion is from real life experience of trying to become in the midst of no love. Trying to become. And the environment doesn't have the love that's helping you become. And you got to make up in your mind, let your light so shine. Because sometimes they have to shine most among people you know the most. Okay?
What if you're shining, you think you're shining your light as a child of God, and your own family member doesn't want to be around you?
It's all right. My light
Actually tell you.
shine anyway.
So, but how do you make,
Shine
so
anyway.
don't try to make them try to talk back to you, or
Because I'm not shining for you. I'm shining for him.
but they don't,
It's all right.
they don't want to go to church. They
It's,
don't wanna,
that's fine.
So
That's fine.
it's hard.
I know. It's fine. But it's not for them. It's for him. I'm not doing this to get you to do what I want.
But what if it's your daughter?
Even if it's my daughter. Even if it's my daughter.
That's some sacrifice.
When they're at a certain age, there's certain responsibilities and, well, we know about the age of, we live in America. So we know when they're entering the adulthood changes. But when they're at an age that,
Yes.
and we live in the world, but we also order our lives according to scripture.
Right.
So I believe that children a certain age,
I'm glad you put that. Yes.
right, because it does a lot to,
Yeah.
right?
That goes with you too. Sis.
You know,
Yeah, I'm listening to her.
they as the mother,
Yes.
and for my daughter,
Right.
as a single parent, she become the head of the household. So there's certain things that she definitely has to. That
Yes.
God is depending on her to implement.
Yes.
You know, so I should be with different ages.
Yes.
So it is tough.
I was trying to explain something on Tuesday night at where the mother, the overseer, the mother, right, and the overseer, the lines. And it's the same thing when it comes to children, where you want to be a mother or father or a thing all the time, and not recognize that this person is an adult. Same thing that goes to our relationships when it comes to husband, wife. Right? Sometimes we believe because of this relationship there has to be this particular result, and we demand it, and it doesn't happen. Because we're looking at the relation, the familial relation, the commitment, and with those commitments, there's an expectation that this person should do what's best, and oftentimes they don't.
And you brought them up in the house of the Lord.
And it's a part of living. This is the part of life. Part of life is not only what you hold on to, but what you're willing to let go. Control. That's the struggle. Well, not only what we grab, what in life are you willing to relinquish, because letting go is the best thing for you.
So would it say that you yourself need something changed?
Yes, you got to learn how to let go.
Okay.
Because they could still grow without you.
Helicopter.
They can get better without you forcing it. Maybe what's making it not get better is that they're purposely not doing it because they know you want it. Because we're human beings, that's what we do. I know you want it, you won't get it. And I mean, again, there's a whole bunch of things we can talk behind it, but that's the truth. Because this, look, sacrifice. That's what letting go is, giving up what you love best, the most important to you, so that you can be better. Because let me ask you something, a real question. You holding on, is it making you better? Then maybe you got to die. Because that way is not making you better. But nobody ever goes the death route. Nobody goes the letting go route. Sometimes you got to let it go and sacrifice it. And like Abraham and Isaac, as soon as you're about to let it go, God says, steady your hand. You don't got to cut it. I got what you need. Understand? You got to be humble enough to do that. All right. That was more. This was turned into a more than like this turned into. I could see that there's a lot of control. There's a lot of things that we're holding on to that we want the results and we're not getting it. People in our life that's important, and our expectation is for them to be better, and yeah, sometimes you just gotta let it go. It can get better. It will get better. All right? It will. Gotta prune it, and then watch how it bloom. All right, let's go home. I feel a sense of almost relief and a weight. See, I'm so serious. Like, I feel like we've touched areas where someone. Oh yeah. Don't stress yourself out too much. That's what it is. You stressed, and